The countdown is on. Less than 24 hours till the first ever March for Life in a post-Roe America. Pro-life Americans from across the country will march in the nation's capital tomorrow. This year's event will make history as the first march held after the Supreme Court overturned Roe last June. But as pro-life advocates remind us, there's still plenty of work to be done at both the state and federal level. Joining us tonight for a preview of tomorrow's March for Life is Jeanne Mancini, president of the March for Life Education and Defense Fund. Jeanne, as always, thanks for coming on the show here. A lot of emotions around this year's march. You have both the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade as well as the recent Roe reversal. Talk about the mood here in the final hours before this 2023 march.
Yeah, energy is the perfect word for this. Just coming into the hotel last night where all the March for Life events are happening besides the rally was so exciting just to see all of the young people wearing their, fun T-shirts already in their hats and just seeming so exuberant about this march. I mean, all of the different things that have happened this year, most especially June 24th decision, the Dobbs decision, have led to such beautiful things, and you can just see a celebratory feeling in the pro-life movement right now.
Absolutely, celebratory tone. The theme of this year's march, though, is next steps, marching in a post-Roe America. What are the next steps? Because it's not just a celebration, there's more work to be done. What are the next steps for the pro-life movement at large?
Part of it is even providing clarity on what Dobbs did and didn't do, which may sound so simple, but surprisingly, a lot of people are confused. So Dobbs did not make abortion illegal in the United States. And so clarifying that there's still tremendous work to be done, especially legislatively at the federal level and at the level of the states. And so one of the ways that the March for Life is helping with that is our State March Initiative, which of course EWTN has reported on many times. But this past year, we were in 5 states in 2022. And so in 2023, we plan to be in 10 and to continue to grow that as quickly as possible with the hoped for being in all 50 states over the course of the next 7 years. I would say the other piece about next steps that's critical is talking about what we do, what's already being done, but what more can we do to support women who are facing unexpected pregnancies. So I feel, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, Mark, the Catholic Church has always been there on this issue, starting some of the newest pregnancy centers in the early 1970s to support women who were facing this moment. Which came with a lot of fear and anxiety. And we've grown and grown and grown those kinds of resources and support over the course of the last 50 years, but we need to grow them even more. And so you'll see from almost all of the March for Life speakers tomorrow that they'll be addressing that topic, the topic of how can we strengthen the safety net for families facing unexpected pregnancies.
Absolutely, that's great to hear. Let's go back briefly to, you mentioned the state marches for life. Would those ultimately replace this national March for Life?
No. Sadly, there's still great work to be done at the national level as well. So even just last week, we saw a pro-life House put forward 2 very good bills that would be protective of life. One was the Born Alive Act, which did pass at the House, which is great. But from a defensive measure, we saw shortly after the Dobbs decision came down that the Senate put forth sounds like a great bill, the Women's Health Protection Act. But of course, that would codify abortion. And further, it would allow taxpayer funding for abortion and go even further than Roe did. So that would involve some of the legislation. But at the federal level, every year, we fight even for things like the Hyde Amendment, which isn't a law, not yet. It's every year it's included in the appropriations packages. I'm sure your viewers know this, but it's arguably the most impactful pro-life policy ever, saving well over 2 million lives since it was first included in approps back in the late 1970s. And were we to stop advocating at the national level, it would go away. It would go away the next year that it was fought for. So for that and other wonderful legislation too at the national level, we need to continue fighting.
And Jeanne, for all the last minute marchers out there, I sometimes would be one of them. Where can we go for the latest information about tomorrow?
Check us out at marchforlife.org. Today, there's a lot of activities. Thursday, you can come and check out our expo. This morning, we're hosting a Capitol Hill 101, showing participants how to really effectively engage with their elected officials. And then, of course, tomorrow we have the concert at 11 a.m. We're at 10th Street on the National Mall, where the rally will occur. The rally begins at noon, and then the march itself begins between 1 and 1:15. Tomorrow night, we have our Rose Dinner at the Marriott Renaissance.
Well, Jeanne Mancini, always a pleasure to have you here. And of course, we'll be following along tomorrow. Thanks for being here today.